What's up, YouTube? What the heck is up? I don't know if this is even going to work because my phone battery is really dead right now. And yeah, you would think you could charge your phone and do anything you want and you're always going to at least break even on the juice. But I don't know if that's true because it starts using too much memory power. I think it's going to soak up all the juice that I'm feeding it. So what's going on? What's going on in LA Prepper's life? Oh my gosh, so much stuff, right? So many exciting things going on in my life. What is first exciting thing? Well, first exciting thing is I lost an O-ring. I bought a carb read kit for the bike, and it came with, I think, one part, one gasket, an O-ring, and a fuel. Not the fuel needle, but the float needle. Fuel needle is different than the float needle. Anyways, so I didn't know where the small O-ring went, and I thought I would just see how the carb went without that one O-ring replaced, which is kind of stupid because the other O-rings were looking not phenomenal, so I should have assumed that that O-ring that came in the kit was definitely one I should have replaced. So long story short, I put it back together. It didn't really work. It was still leaking gas. It's still leaking gas at this moment. Possibly from the not the float needle, the fuel needle that's pulled up by the vacuum slide. So I'm going to replace this last O-ring if I can find it. And I've looked all over my car. I looked not really all over my apartment, but I looked mostly around my apartment. Oh, what's up, Inspired John? I'm giving an exciting story about a lost O-ring. And I've actually been doing lives recently than regular videos. Yeah, low battery, I know. This thing is just... I'm losing juice here. I don't know what is going on with this thing, but it might be a short live stream. And in fact, Inspired John, you might be able to help give some insight on this drama that I'm having with my neighbors right now that shouldn't be, but is. So anyways, motorcycle news. I lost the O-ring. I don't know where it is. I gotta either buy it or find it because the damn thing's still leaking gas and it's driving me crazy. But I did replace a port that was completely missing from the bike that was really screwing up my vacuum. And now when I tried to kick it over, it's feeling a little more like it used to. So that's good. So apartment drama. What's going on? What's up, JD? What's going on with my crazy apartment people, neighbors? They're not the worst neighbors in the world, but there's some things that they do that I don't like. They have a bunch of broke down cars, which is mostly an eyesore. It's not the biggest deal in the world. They're too lazy to work on them any amount of time. In fact, it's like a running joke I have with myself that anytime I hear them working on the car, I know it's going to be quiet 3 or 4 hours later because he doesn't have the endurance or the motivation to work on the thing for 8 hours a day. But he's got like one broken down car. He's got 3 broken down cars, 3 completely broken down cars. It's kind of a small carport. So he uses the 2 to kind of work on the other one because they're all Hondas, and it's just like, what are you doing, dude? It's an apartment complex. It's not a place for you to have like all these broken down cars, but the landlords are kind of not really into it, so they don't really do anything. So anyways, their alarms are sometimes going off in the middle of the night and all this weird stuff, and they stomp up and down the stairs like they're goddamn elephants, slamming doors constantly. They used to fight and yell at each other and tires screeching out. One of them's a 280. In fact, that's the biggest shame of them all, is that the 280Z or the 240Z that's parked on the other side, it's parked not even on their property or not even on the property of the landlord that they're renting from. Hasn't been basically touched in like 2 years since I got there. So anyways, I emailed the landlord a couple days ago like, hey, car alarms and slamming doors and, stomping around, like, just tell them to like not stomp around so much or whatever. And I guess the landlord told them. I don't know if she said like I complained or they... See, my neighbor's Latin and my other neighbors are Latin, and Latin people don't really like complain about other Latin people, so they must have thought, oh, must be the one tenant who's not, Latin American like we are. Even though I'm pretty sure everyone was born in America, but there's this like very strong cultural connection between some people. So, anyways, today I'm walking home up the stairs. Yeah, right. I mean, it had to be. And I have talked with the landlord a couple times about like having weeks and weeks and weeks of recycle just sitting around, like they're hoarding like paper recycle. Cans and bottles I kind of get because you're gonna like take it and recycle it, whatever. But if you have months and months of paper recycling, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Put it in the recycle. Like we have recycling. They pay for recycling. I don't know what the deal is, but so there's been like maybe 3 things I've brought to the landlord's attention over the 2 years that I've lived there. So it's not like I'm really complaining about them all the time, but so I'm walking up the stairs today and I hear the female neighbor. It's a female, male and female and their kid. I don't know if it's a wife or wife or girlfriend or whatever. I walk up the stairs and she's like, she's not talking to anyone. She's not on the phone. She's not holding her phone up. She doesn't have a Bluetooth. I've never seen her with a Bluetooth in her ear my entire life. So pretty doubtful that she was on the phone. But she's like, some people are bitches, bitch, 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 and all this stuff. It's funny you mentioned the poop, right? Because they used to let their dog, oh my God, this drove me so crazy. Finally passed away, but they used to let their dog out unsupervised, just walk around the carport and like go to the bathroom behind the apartment and then just be wandering around. Not for like 5 minutes. Like if your dog's smart enough, it goes down the stairs, takes a crap, comes back up like 3-4 minutes. Maybe you got a smart dog and you're fine. They would let this fucking dog wander around for like an hour or more. Swear to God, like almost every time. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This isn't your house. This isn't your front yard. This isn't your backyard. And believe it or not, so the one time I go and tell her, I almost like ran over their stupid dog because I was backing out like the dog's walking behind me. So I go up and tell her, I'm like, look, I almost ran over your dog. Do you want to fucking get your dog, right? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, my dog's an asshole. And I'm like, really? Your dog's an asshole? You let your dog walk around completely unsupervised, thinking it's just like as smart enough to, avoid cars, which it mostly does, but that's not the point. And she's calling the dog an asshole. I'm just like, oh God, this is what I'm dealing with, right? And I never even complained about that to the landlord, about how they just let their dog walk around or whatever, So anyway, she's doing all, yeah, dog's fault, of course. It's my fault or the dog's fault, but it's not her fault. So she's saying this passive aggressive stuff about how I'm a bitch as I'm walking up the stairs, and I was like, maybe not this close, but I was like that close to going downstairs and be like, look, I heard what you said. I really don't appreciate that kind of language. Like, if you have a problem with me, let's talk about it. But there's 2 reasons I didn't do that. One, I try to like simmer on stuff, and kind of my new plan on like conflict resolution, not that new of a plan, is to try to like wait 24 hours when I'm upset about something and see 24 hours later if I want to deal with it in a different way. Second thing is, I'm a man, she's a woman, not like I would ever speak to her inappropriately or do anything like that, but it's just, it kind of sucks that it's this way in this world. But if you're a guy and you have a problem with a woman, you better be careful about how you confront them about it, because it can just go sour. And if it turns into like she said, I said, I'm probably gonna lose that, Acer, good to see you, Acer, by the way. Hi, Uncle Al. Acer, I haven't seen you in a long time. You're a wise person too, and I'm probably gonna have to end the stream in like 5 minutes because my phone keeps flashing this low battery stuff at me, and I think it's gonna turn off. But what would you guys do in the situation? Would you talk directly to the female who said the things? Would you talk to her man? Would you talk to the landlord and get the landlord involved and then talk with them at the same time? Would you completely ignore it and just pretend like it never happened? You know, once is one time, but if they start trying to say shit like that every time I walk by, I'm really not trying to have that. You know, I live there, it's my home. What's up, Will? And so that's 2 votes for pass. Just pretend like it never happened, suck it up, and if it keeps happening, maybe deal with it in the future.